This team has not seen a player like that. And so, if on Saturday night we get there 7 minutes in, Lionel Messi is dribbling past three guys, putting the ball in the back of the net, and all of these defenders are looking around thinking to themselves, what was that? Five players to look out for Al-Ali in this game against Inter Miami. I think it's most appropriate for a team bringing in a bunch of new pieces just for this tournament to go with the spine. Let's start with striker Wessam Abu Ali. Tell me about him.
The man up top, the number 9, tall, physical, strong in the box, a really good finisher, and hold up play is fantastic. Honestly, I've said everything that you want in a striker, and he does all of those things really well. He is very physical, as I mentioned, keeps hold of the ball extremely well, which allows some of the runners in behind from the midfield to take advantage of it, make those runs in behind the defenders, and then create opportunities. But I think his biggest asset is the fact that he's really good in the box. Takes the first touch in a situation where he's surrounded by a lot of defenders, makes space for himself, and then has the finish of a quintessential number 9. I really, really like him as a player. I think he's going to be super dangerous, and his physicality and his verticality is going to potentially hurt into Miami. Need to be wary of him. May just be the best player that Al Ali has.
I agree. I think he's their best player. He's the guy that scares me because he's such a well-rounded striker. It's very difficult to defend. But the guy that gets him the ball, and listen, I know they brought in a couple nice wingers, especially for this tournament, Trezeguet, Zizou. But the guy for that team is Amama Shur. This player is their engine in the midfield. So creative. This is a guy that can dribble through the midfield, make the final pass, create offense for himself, create his own shot, score goals. This guy can do everything. And if you're an MLS fan, think about maybe a slightly less athletic Ricky Puig, a slightly less athletic Thiago Almada, but this guy absolutely deserves to be or would be at the top of the MLS in terms of playmaking ability, just like he is in the Egyptian Premier League. This guy is the creator of offense. And for a team that brought in new wingers, having that stability and the guy who knows his teammates, he's going to create a lot of opportunities if you aren't defending him well. This guy is a stud.
Give him time on the ball and he'll find the right pass. And he is the creative outlet, very dangerous. Again, very interesting player.
Talk to me about Aliou Dieng.
Possibly my favorite player on this Al Ali team. He is a number 6. I think he's going to be the defensive midfielder when he starts. But he can do everything. He can play as a box to box midfielder. He can make those runs in behind. Very powerful, very strong. You used the word explosive when we were talking about him offline. I love this player. He has a really good creative pass on him, but I think why he's so important for this Al Ali team is just the fact that he's strong, powerful, can defend, and can play on both sides of the pitch, whether it's protecting his back line or whether it's going forward and creating something for his offense. I absolutely love him. And if we bring him to the MLS, I would love for him to be in Inter Miami's team. Fantastic player. And I'm going to be looking out for him throughout this tournament, seeing how far Al Ali gets with him in the middle of the park.
No, he looks like an NFL running back. He has this sort of shot out of a cannon athleticism. Really fun player to watch. I think there's a chance that he doesn't start every game. He's coming back from a season-long loan, so he hasn't been with the team. Ben Romdani, a guy they just brought in for this tournament. Those two midfielders, I think, are battling for one spot, but I think Aliou Dieng, as the more defensive option, as that more true number 6, is a great player. I'm very excited to watch him, and I think he's a guy that Miami needs to be nervous about if they want to have success in that midfield. Ashraf Dari, talk to me about him.
Ashraf Dari, I think probably an understated player for this team. May not be the most glamorous player that stands out, but he's very good in the air, a very solid defender. And for what I've seen of him, seems like an old school centre back who will do the job, very good with the ball at his feet, will pass the ball into the midfield, create those line breaking passes to get it into the midfield creative players, and can just really align the back line really well. And I think for them to be defensively solid, for them to contain a player like Messi, he's just going to bring that coolness, that calmness, that composure in the back line, which Al Ali will definitely need going up against one of the best players in the world. His dominance in the air could potentially be key because if Inter Miami goes with over the top balls, he might be there to take care of all of them. So, understated player. Would love to see how he holds up against an Inter Miami offense that is always touted as fantastic.
The last guy I want to talk about is Mohamed El Shinawi, their goalkeeper, longtime Egypt number one. This guy is long, strong hands, very good shot stopper, quick to the floor, very difficult to beat, consistency, experience. This is everything you want in a goalkeeper, especially at this level. He's going to be very difficult to beat. Very, very good at getting a finger or two on a ball and creating a save. Um, Inter Miami's going to have to beat him, and it's going to be very difficult. They're not going to get any freebies from this guy, and that's exactly what you want from your goalkeeper if you're entering a big tournament. Nothing easy, nothing cheap, nothing free. This guy brings that to this Al Ali team.
In a tournament where you often depend on moments, a good goalkeeper, can make or break your game, can make or break your tournament. And Al Shanawi is the kind of player that can actually turn out to be the hero for Al Ali. So we know who the superstars are on this Inter Miami team, but who are the other difference makers across the pitch? Scotty?
I'm going to start with Tadeo Allende because this is a team that lacks a little bit of athleticism when you're talking about Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi up front. And that's what Tadeo Allende brings. He is a long strider, big pace guy who brings the verticality to this team. When you're talking about trying to push that back line deep to give space for Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez to operate, that's Tadeo Allende's specialty. But he also gives you some goals. This is a guy who can play sort of as a deeper midfielder on the right side of midfield, make those runs in behind. We'll give you a goal every couple of games, but really the big impact he has is the creation of space, pushing that back line deeper, making them a little bit nervous, and then it provides that juicy, juicy spot in the middle where Lionel Messi loves to operate.
He's going to stretch the pitch out. He brings the verticality to this Inter Miami team. But I think what you said, he's dangerous in front of goal, more so than people give him credit for. And he's got a really good foot on him as well. I can totally see a scenario where Inter Miami passes the ball across to him on his side and he just runs down, gets in front of goal, and then either cuts the ball back or shoots it. I think potentially, other than the Barcelona five, he is going to be our most goal threatening player.
Matchup player, tell me who is very important for this specific game.
We talked about Abu Ali as Al Ali's biggest threat, number 9 striker. And to go up against him, I think the player who matches up the best is Toto Aviles. Maybe a slightly controversial opinion given that he doesn't necessarily start too many games under this Javi Mascherano side, but he has the pace, he has the strength, and he's told to deal with everything that Abu Ali offers up top. Toto Aviles is really good one on one, can put in a really good tackle. We've seen him concede a fair few yellow cards here and there, but still his ability to deal with the man is very good. But also he can sweep in behind. And if there's a player from the Al Ali offense that gets free or is running in behind, Toto has the pace and ability to just get in and stop any dangerous opportunities. I think he's going to be key in this defensive line for Inter Miami. Start him against Abu Ali.
Uh, you said it, high upside. He's young. He does get a little too many yellow cards. He's prone to a mistake a couple times a year. But if that doesn't happen in this game, he's your best chance as Inter Miami to shut down Wessam Abu Ali, to make it difficult for him to operate in the box. He has the speed, he has the size, he has the physicality. He has what you need to be able to play against some of the best offenses that the world has to offer. I agree with you. It's a great choice. His potential partner, Noah Allen, unbelievable story. He is a left back by profile. He's a center back by talent. He has emerged as one of the most promising left backs in the country into one of the best center backs in the league. Undersized. That's just the first thing. He might have to play left back because there's a question about Jordi Alba's availability for Saturday night. But if he plays as a center back, he's got the heart, the quickness, and he's so smart. He doesn't make mistakes. He's always in the right spot, and he gets out of trouble in ways that not every center back in this league can do. And if he plays left back, he's learned a thing or two from Jordi Alba. He has the athleticism and the skill set to do that. Not quite at Jordi Alba's level, but he has learned how to find Messi in dangerous spots. He could be a difference maker in this game.
For those watching him play for the first time, all I'm going to say is don't be fooled by his size. He has the heart of a lion.
Definitely. The midfield. How does Inter Miami get the creativity that they're going to need out of this midfield?
The midfield battle is going to be key. And for me, there's one player that stands out, and that's Telasco Segovia. He has this innate ability to just connect everything so well. He plays really well when he's taking the ball to him. He's really good with his one-to-one passing, whether it's with Sergio Busquets next to him, whether it's Messi coming back and receiving the ball. He just makes everyone else around him tick. And for an Inter Miami side that loves to play with the ball at their feet, he has to be playing in the middle of the park, because when he's there in the center, it just allows everybody else to connect together really well. His ability to find the passes in between the pockets, occupy some really good spaces, take the pressure onto himself, and then lay the ball off for someone like Messi is highly underrated. I think he's really well utilized in the middle of the park and somewhat wasted when he's playing out wide. So I urge Javier Mascherano to play him in the middle, because that's how you're going to get the best out of Telasco Segovia.
Yeah, he's the type of midfielder that makes things easier for everyone around him. He has been in sort of this more natural role of late for Inter Miami, and he's been a star because of it. This is a talent that has sort of the upside to make a huge impact in this type of tournament. If you're Ali, this is the guy that could break you. You could focus too much attention on Busquets, too much attention on Suarez, too much attention on Messi. This guy can break you if you're not careful, because he has that type of talent, the playmaking ability, the creativity, and all of that good stuff. Sort of a 10 skill set with a really great box to box profile. But we have to end on the big one. Listen, we wanted to give you some names you might not be familiar with or not too familiar with. It would have been easy to say Suarez and Busquets and Jordi Alba because we all know what they can do. But the truth is, the biggest difference maker is Lionel Messi. This is the best player in the group. He is going to be the equalizer for Inter Miami, whether they're playing Al Ahly, Porto, Palmeiras, PSG, Bayern Munich, Man City, whoever it is. It's going to be Lionel Messi that's going to have the weight of the game and Inter Miami's chances on his shoulder. This is the guy who could break the game open for Inter Miami. And if he's not there, and if Al Ahly can contain him, claps to you, because that is not easy. Very few teams have ever done it. This is going to be the star of the show. Of course, he has to be one of the difference makers for this game.
Lionel Messi, the greatest of all time. Let's see what he does on the global stage against one of the best in Africa. I'm super excited because I think he can really make the difference for this Inter Miami team.
So how does Al Ahly win this game?
2 words: consistency and stability, because they have a lot of that. Every single player on the pitch knows their role, and every single player on the pitch is well drilled. That's how they're going to beat this Inter Miami team, by just sticking to their game plan.
This team, and I want to give them a lot of credit, they are built to win not just in the Egyptian Premier League, but also across the continent. And that could be a very different style. A lot of athleticism in the African Champions League. The Egyptian game, much more slower pace, but obviously other challenges. And they are built to do both. It's a very difficult line to sort of walk, and they've done an excellent job of it. They have added a ton of talent, not just in the last few weeks, but over the last couple years. The last time they played an MLS team, they were one of the best teams in Africa, had won the African Champions League. Almost all of their best players have come since then. We've mentioned a couple of them earlier on in this episode, but ultimately, this is a team that's not going to be surprised by anything Inter Miami does as a team. And so all they have to do is stay within themselves, not make silly mistakes, because that's exactly how Inter Miami is going to punish them if they do. Don't turn the ball over in bad areas. Don't be overwhelmed by the moment, which you wouldn't expect from a team with this much experience. And ultimately, let your play style win you the game. I think they can win this game if it's played in their own half, because Inter Miami is susceptible to a team that makes it very difficult and condensed, and sort of has a low block, and then is susceptible on the counter. I think if they play this game in Inter Miami's half, They also have a very good chance because Inter Miami is prone to make mistakes deep. The only way this game style is going to favor Inter Miami is if it's played right in the middle of the park where there's an open midfield where Inter Miami's technical quality can really shine. If Al can sort of smush the field together, make it condensed, either part of the pitch, and I'm sure it will sort of move as the game goes, game state dependent, they will be okay. Solid fundamental soccer, they will be fine. As you mentioned, consistency, stability. I think those are the keys for them to win this game. And for a team that is as well drilled as they are, that is something that's going to come naturally. Now, I will add, they've brought in a couple of new players that do not have a ton of time with this team. And so there might be a little bit of a chemistry issue. I will also add they brought in a new coach. Now, this is a well drilled team that is tactically astute. This is a very good coach. There's no reason to think it won't be good. There's no reason to think they're going to fall apart. But as long as they play within themselves, they have an excellent chance to win this game.
And we spoke about consistency and stability, but we didn't mention that they do it across 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they can consistently put the same kind of pressure on a team across 90 minutes. And it's almost like you're playing the perfect storm because they have two distinct play styles depending on who they're playing. They can hit you on the counter and they've got the pace, the verticality, the strength, just the ability to drive through your midfield and catch you off guard when you're not defensively solid. But then they can also play through the lines really well. They've got enough players on the wings. Their number 10 can pass through the middle really well, get the ball into the striker, and they can construct the goal. So that for me is very dangerous because there's multiple ways in which they can hurt into Miami. They're going to have to make sure they don't get overwhelmed by the moment. And I know that sounds a little weird talking about a team that's so experienced and has won the most number of Champions League in the continent, but you're playing against Lionel Messi. You're playing against Lionel Messi at his home ground, and it is a big occasion. You're starting off the FIFA World Cup, so it'll be interesting to see how they deal with the spectacle of it. But I think this is a really professional setup. This is a very well drilled side, regardless of the new coach, regardless of the new players. I think they can be very dangerous for Inter Miami.
I also want to add, nobody should be underestimating this team. This is a super team by Al Ahly standards. And Al Ahly, the second winningest club in the history of soccer, second most trophies of any club in the world. They are serial winners. And even by that standard, this is a super team. They have brought in so many quality players from clubs that you know and that you have seen on television. These guys are the real deal. And as long as they play within themselves, I think they will be okay. They've got tricky wingers. They have an excellent number 10. They have a striker that puts goals in the back of the net for fun. They have a very athletic midfielder. They are very solid defensively, and their goalkeeper is going to save everything that's easy to save. This is going to be a team that is going to bring you, as we've said over and over, if they bring stability and consistency, they're going to be fine, not just in this game, but in this tournament. They have an excellent chance to go far. There is no underestimation from our part about what this team is capable of.
And I'll just add as a final bow, this is a fun team to watch. I've really enjoyed researching and
Me
learning
too.
about Al Ahly. So I think this is a really fun team, and it could be a really fun match if both teams show up and show off, because I know this is a big tournament, and I'm sure everyone wants to leave an impression. The world is watching. Lionel Messi is leading us on the field. How does Inter Miami win this game?
Listen, tournament soccer can be all about the moments, and this team can provide the moments. And I don't think it matters who the opposition is. When you have Lionel Messi, when you have Luis Suarez, they can make magic happen. I think that's the key. And I know that might sound lazy or simplistic to say about this Inter Miami team, but ultimately, the trick for Inter Miami is create as many opportunities for something special to happen. Luis Suarez can put the ball in the back of the net if he's put in a position to do it. Lionel Messi can obviously put the ball in the back of the net. But if you are reined in your own half and near your own box, you're going to really struggle. You don't have the athleticism to go the other way. If you are pushing against a very solid, very well disciplined Al Ahly team in its own box, that is something we've seen this Inter Miami team to struggle. To me, the answer is you have to win balls in the midfield and then quickly transition to Messi, Suarez, Tadeo Allende over the top, Fafa Biko coming off the bench. There are guys on this team that can make magic moments happen. It's not just the big names, but can they happen in this game? I think Inter Miami is going to struggle to be the better team over 90 minutes, but football is about goals, it's about saves. And I think they absolutely have the talent to make the moments count for them.
On paper, this Inter Miami team almost sounds magical. There's so much going for them. But recently, there's been a lot of question marks. First, it was our inability to score goals. We were defensively solid, getting wins this season. And then recently, it's been all about leaking goals, just constantly conceding stupid, idiotic goals. And for me, I think watching Inter Miami, the one thing that stands out is we are the architects of our own destruction, of our own demise. And Inter Miami needs to make sure they don't beat themselves in this game. Al Ali is going to be a very difficult opposition to play against. You can't have loose balls in the middle of the park. You can't make silly passes that lead to turnovers. You can't lose the ball in dangerous parts of the pitch because this Al Ali team, this Al Ali offense is going to beat you. You can't just sit back and absorb pressure either, because that's very counterintuitive to what this Inter Miami team is built to do. So, as you said, take advantage of the moments, be precise, be incisive, and once you get that ball in those dangerous areas, anyone knows that Lionel Messi can score from anywhere on the pitch, but once he's in that final third, it's almost game over. Get the ball into your dangerous players, get the ball, move it quickly, and give this Al Ali defense something to think about.
No, I think you said it well at the start there, because offensively, it's about creating moments for yourself, but defensively, it's about not making the mistakes that create moments for the opposition. You have to be sound defensively. It's not something this Inter Miami team has always done. We have seen them do it. They are capable, they have the potential. They are not going, I don't think they're going to get overwhelmed or overrun by physicality or technicality or tactical nuance of this Al Ali team. They have the potential to not just win this game, but to be the better team. But ultimately, they can, as you mentioned, make the mistake that can cost them. Can they create the mistake that can win them this game? I think that's what it's all about. The other thing I want to mention, and I said when we were talking about Lionel Messi in our 5 players to watch, he's the best player in this group. Listen, this Al Ali team, they know how to deal with athleticism. They know how to deal with technicality. They know how to deal with a very well organized team. I'm not sure that they know how to deal with Lionel Messi. This team has not seen a player like that. And so, if on Saturday night we get there 7 minutes in, Lionel Messi is dribbling past 3 guys, putting the ball in the back of the net, and all these defenders are looking around thinking to themselves, what was that? I think that's on the table for Inter Miami. And so, whether it's his connection with Luis Suarez, which we know is excellent, if it's Jordi Alba that plays and they just find each other in the right spots at the right time, there is something that is so intuitive and talented about these players that this Al Ali team might feel something they are not prepared for. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I think this is a good Al Ali team, but I will never take that off the table because these guys are that special. It's all about the moments for Inter Miami from my perspective. Don't have silly moments that cost you the game and create opportunities for the big moments that win you the game. Uh, because this is a good team, but you can beat them.
Everyone needs to be on the same page for this Inter Miami team, all 11 players, and they need to be ready to compete. Al Ali is not just going to roll over and let Inter Miami do what they want. They're going to be here to compete. They're going to be here to show the world that they can beat the host team and beat a Lionel Messi team. And they will be ready for that. So every single player needs to be ready to compete. And I'm confident that as long as all 11 players on that pitch put their best foot forward and bring the best that we know them to be, this is going to be a really fun and competitive game to watch.
This is going to kick off the Club World Cup. I am happy. There is no doubt about how much these two teams are going to want this game, how much they're going to want to do well in this tournament. It is going to be such a fun way to kick off this tournament. I'll be watching. You'll be watching. I hope you'll all be watching with us. Do us a favor, hit the like button for this little preview. And guys, Club World Cup is here. Hopefully it's a great time. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Since our first viewer, sharing this with you all has been the very best part. So from the beginning until the end, thank you for being a part of this and have a wonderful day.